I, Jimmy Carter, do solemnly swear.
Jimmy Carter received an outpouring of tributes and remembrances following his death at the age of 100.
You set an example for all of us.
I am so in awe of him.
And I'm sure President Carter, he's in heaven now with his wife.
He served just one term in the White House after being sworn in at the age of 52. But it was the decades after his presidency that even he acknowledged were his most successful, saying, quote, "I can't deny I'm a better ex-president than I was a president." After leaving office in 1981, Carter earned a reputation as a committed humanitarian. He and his wife Rosalind founded the Carter Center in 1982 to alleviate human suffering. Executive Director of the George Washington Presidential Library, Lindsay Travinsky, explains.
The Carter Center was really the first to raise funds and support to try and eradicate disease, to try and help with human rights, try and help protect voting rights, to try and help protect the sanctity of elections around the globe.
Carter's nonprofit helped lead global efforts to eradicate guinea worm disease, a debilitating parasitic disease transmitted through contaminated water, by providing health education in Africa and helping maintain political will.
In terms of the disease around the world, they actually helped eradicate a couple of diseases, guinea worm, and then I think it's also called river blindness. And so the Carters really funneled funds and attention to help eradicating a couple of those diseases. And in doing so, they have saved the lives of millions of people, which is just a remarkable feat.
There were an estimated 3.5 million cases of the disease in 1986. In 2023, only 14 cases were reported. Carter, who left office profoundly unpopular, gained global acclaim as a voice for the disenfranchised.
Prior to him, most former presidents went home and were pretty quiet because that was the expectation. Now, that didn't always rub everyone the right way. Sometimes he was involved in foreign policy, or he would speak out about foreign policy in a way that some of his successors felt was inappropriate.
But Travinsky says his humanitarian work was hard to criticize. Carter won the Nobel Peace Prize in 2002 for his efforts to promote human rights and resolve conflicts around the world, from Ethiopia and Eritrea to Bosnia and Haiti. His Carter Center in Atlanta also sent international election monitoring delegations to polls worldwide. Here's Carter in Ethiopia in 1993.
I don't see the separability of peace and democracy and human rights and the alleviation of human suffering and in the future sustained development. I see these as an integral part of the life of a human being or the life of a nation.
For decades, the Carters worked with Habitat for Humanity, which helped build homes for people in need.
And so when they went to build a house for Habitat for Humanity, perhaps they weren't the fastest worker, maybe they weren't able to hammer as many nails as the person next to them, but by being there, they were bringing awareness to the cause and to the effort. And so in doing so, they were able to raise enormous amounts of money and public awareness of this effort.
Carter wrote more than 24 books, ranging from a presidential memoir to a children's book and poetry, as well as works about religious faith and diplomacy.
His decency, his goodness of spirit, his long-lasting marriage, his commitment to his faith and acting that faith out through deeds, not just words. Those are things, and I should say also his far-reaching vision about the importance of environmental protections. Those are things that almost made him more cool in the 2020s than they did in the 1970s.